I got me some Wait, you heard that? Well, I was just talking to myself. Y'all just go on and pay no mind. It seems she's still hiding something. This is an important clue. I'll need to use it effectively. Are you still hiding something from me? Tell me the truth. I know you're still hiding something from me. Ain't hiding nothing from nobody. I already done told you everything I know. Perhaps I should use that clue. There we go. You still haven't told me everything. Ah, checkmate. Isn't there something you haven't told me yet? You have evidence regarding the incident you witnessed. Something definitive enough to publish in an article. Oh! Yeah! What in tarnation? Let me off the hook already. Fine, I'll tell you everything. I'll even show you the photo I took if you stop harassing me. That good enough for you? Checkmate. Oh! Very good. I love logic chess, it's so good. It just is, it's so fun. I love it. Now that is one hell of a nickname. I lost, I really lost. The mouth of the South has been defeated. Now then, it's time to come clean. Tell me everything that you know. I was watching the auction, gathering info for my story. You didn't just watch though. You got shocking photos too, right? Ugh. A little while after the auction started, someone won a bid and the conductor banged the gavel. Someone hollered, "We'll finish the deal upstairs," or something like that. That ain't good, I thought to myself as I hurried back to hide behind the statue. Did you see whoever came up? Not quite, but I reckon the fella that came up was the winner of the bid. I could smell the buttery aroma of big fat wads of cash. Buttery aroma? I can't imagine that at all. I reckon this room is where the bidders ponied up the dough for their purchases. The two of them talked for a while. Wait, there was a second person in the storeroom? You betcha. I reckon it was the conductor. Oh. Then out of nowhere, one of them started screaming. Almost scared my britches off. I rolled myself up into a ball and kept on laying low. So, you witnessed the murder? Well, I wouldn't say that I witnessed it, but I definitely heard it though. Didn't you try to stop them? Just stop right there. That ain't even funny. What's a dainty little thing like me gonna do? Dainty? After that, I heard me some rustling and bustling. The whole time, I was really regretting coming here. Something fierce. Well, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, but nothing gets in the way a lot of hunting her photos. Okay. This was my big scoop. Ain't no way I was gonna let it slip away. A bit later, I heard this loud thud. I figured it was my last chance to snap a photo from behind the statue. Well then, would you please show us the photo? Aw, why do I have to? Oh, red raincoat. This is the person in the red raincoat who attacked Kay. The person in the red raincoat assaulted the victim in the storeroom, and then attacked Kay on the roof? So, a photo of someone in a red raincoat, touch check button for details. There's only one person in this photo, where's the victim? Yeah, I thought it was strange too. I could have sworn there were two of them, but when I looked, there was only the one. Well, that's got to be the killer, don't you reckon? So, she's saying the victim disappeared. The victim disappeared. The murder may have occurred in the storeroom during the auction. Boom. Boom. You were able to tell this person was a culprit just by looking? Their hands were stained bright red, so I figured it was them. What happened to the auction after the murder? Nothing really. It just went on like normal. I guess those rich folks didn't give a hoot. They got some nerve. The nerve of a journalist is nothing to scoff at either. Lots of testimony. About the secret auction, touch check button for details. Very nice. Logic. There we go. If If we assume that the murder took place in this storeroom, then we must conclude that the body was here as well. Huh? Isn't that pretty obvious? Do you remember how the participants left the auction? Of course. They'd passed through this storeroom on the way back from the auction. Oh! Exactly. The culprit had to hide the body, so that the participants wouldn't discover it. The real question is, where? Where was the body hidden? Culprit hid the body so it would not be seen by auction participants. Where would a body be hidden? Emma, would you mind lending me a hand? Leave it to me. What do you want me to do? Let's see. Use your luminol reagent to test for a blood reaction, if you would please. Okay, let me show you the power of science. The glint in her eyes is getting brighter by the second. Let's start by examining that ladder over there. Based on Miss Hart's picture, the person in the red raincoat headed towards that ladder. Chances are, something will turn up if we check there. I really hope I can use the thing. So just touch anything you want to examine. If you do that, you'll be able to spray the luminol reagent at it. If there's a bloodstain on the spot where you sprayed, you'll get a reaction like this. Even so, no matter how many times I see bloodstains, they're always so gruesome. There's a blood reaction here, but it's kind of faint. Let's spray it with luminol 2 or 3 more times so it'll be nice and clear. You can see it clearly now. Looks even more gruesome than before. Do you understand how to look for bloodstains now? Well, yeah. Of course I do. There are probably a few more bloodstains here, so why don't you give it a try, Mr. Edgeworth? Select the area via the touchscreen. Oh, I have to use the touchscreen. Oh, shit. Alright. I got it. Good job I have a mouse. Yeah, because that's something you can't use the sticks for. Let's search the rest of the storeroom for bloodstains just like that. First, let's look for a place to spray the luminol reagent. Maybe in here? It's a box. You want to examine this spot? I don't see why not. Let's spray the luminol on every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Oh, there we go. There's some. That it? Mr. Edgeworth, there's a bloodstain here too. However, why is there a bloodstain in a place like this? Maybe something that had blood on it was stored inside. Bloodstain in the costume trunk. A bloodstain was found inside the costume trunk at the storeroom. Where else? Mr. Edgeworth, there are places we still haven't checked yet. So let's continue our investigation. The lift, maybe? May as well. Let's spray luminol on every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Sure. Oh! See it. Oh! Well, there's that. Mr. Edgeworth, there's a reaction. It's a bloodstain. But why in a place like this? Perhaps this was where the murder took place. Now it looks like some of the blood dripped down to the floor below. Oh! That would explain why there's the pool. The pool of blood in front of the Goddess of Law statue. Oh. Blood on hidden lift. The bloodstain was found on the hidden lift. Blood seems to have dripped down to the floor below. Looks like we found all the bloodstains in this storeroom. It seems we have investigated the storeroom sufficiently. Logic. Where was the body hidden? Fairly obvious. The reason why we found a bloodstain in the costume trunk is because the murderer hid the body in that box. I wonder who won the bid for it. The trunk, I mean. That I don't know. In a certain way, everything worked out exactly as someone wanted. Hold it, hold it. It couldn't have been that dressing box. What do you mean? When I first came down here, that box caught my eye too. It was just the right size and would have made the perfect hiding place. That's what I thought, anyway. But I couldn't get the dang thing to open. It had been wrapped up real tight with a locked chain. The murder happened after that, so hiding a body in there would have been impossible, you know? The chain wrapped around it. That's a bit strange. Right now, it doesn't seem to be locked up at all. Huh? That's weird. Maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me or something. Costume trunk. The killer hid the victim in this box. A bloodstain was found inside. With that, I believe we have examined everything there is to examine here. Well then, let's head on down. Oh, have we decided on our next destination? Yes, Mr. Shields. We wouldn't want you to get lost, so make sure you stay real close to Uncle Ray, okay? Right. I'll follow you closely, Mr. Shields. These two. Since when did they get along like that? It's because Kay doesn't have her memories. Oh man, look at us! Look at us all go! This is where Judge Courtney will be like, huh? Yeah. Ah. So the auction took place in the PIC meeting room. What? Mr. Edgeworth. Good evening, gentlemen. Oh. This place is... Is this the auction hall? No, it's the meeting room from before. Oh. How nice of you to drop in, Kay Faraday. Yeah, we'd forgot. She's still the suspect. You've got some guts. Hey, you guys, arrest her! Arrest her! Wait, Kay is... As for the rest of the riffraff, just show them out the door. Are you shitting me? Oh my god, she's taking pictures. This is tyranny. Yeah, it's tyranny, pal. Miles, this is kinda bad. The light of justice shines above me. Ooh! Oh, Franziska. Oh, she whipped him like... God, 3 times. But why me too? Oh, that's strange. I was aiming for that weak ex-prosecutor. You were clearly aiming at me. Maybe something got in my way. Particularly... Did he just collapse? Right around there. Franziska. Just what do you think you're doing here, ex-prosecutor Miles Edgeworth? I do not believe that Kay is the culprit behind this incident. You're just an ordinary man without investigation rights. What you say does not matter. I am Franziska von Karma. I will never stop moving forward. However, you chose to quit. The outcome of our battle has already been decided. I cast away my badge, because it became a milestone around my neck. Or was it a millstone? Probably millstone. I shall continue moving forward, even without it. The path I walk will surely lead to the truth. My actions are driven by that belief, and that is something which will never change. So you're saying that you found a path to the truth? Then show it to me. But if that path proves to be a foolish one, it will not survive my whip. Oh, okay. So Franziska's logic. The victim used her keycard and entered this room with the culprit. Then, the culprit stabbed the victim in the chest with the candelabra, killing her. Shouldn't the letter make it obvious who the culprit is? Of course, the crime scene was right here in this room, the PIC meeting room. The proof is the bloodstain we found here in the meeting room. That settles it, Miles Edgeworth. It doesn't, though. Miss Von Karma seems really confident, doesn't she? Ah, I see. She's a fiery one, isn't she? I don't mind a feisty cutie. So, how about an introductory hug? Well, I saw that going. How repulsive. Well, Miles Edgeworth, can you break my logic? If you truly have no intention of stopping here, prove it to me with evidence. Very well. I'll show you, Franziska. The evidence that paves my path. Am I able to press, or do I literally have to present? Because I really want to press on everything. It's fun. I like to do it. Was there nothing suspicious about the security system? The meeting room security is perfect, much like my logic. There is no room for doubt. Your logic isn't as perfect as you think. In any case, your opinion has not changed. Yes, the victim and the culprit entered the room together. Bum bum bum. Did the victim's wounds match up with the candelabra? I feel stupid every time I say that word. The victim's chest was pierced in 3 places simultaneously by a sharp metal object. Is there anything else that could have done such a thing? That should all be written in Dr. Young's autopsy report. So you're sure that the murder weapon was the candle thing? Exactly. As for who the culprit is, shouldn't the letter... Do you have anything to confirm that the letter was actually sent by Kay? Are you proposing that it was forged by the real criminal? That possibility was dismissed some time ago. There were no traces of forgery on the letter. Of course, there were no other traces besides Kay Faraday and the victim found on the letter. Are you saying you found Kay's fingerprints on the letter? The only fingerprints we found belonged to the victim. In other words, you can't really say that Kay is the culprit. Didn't I just say that the possibility of a forgery has been dismissed? That letter was originally sent by Kay Faraday. Therefore, it is only natural to assume that she is the culprit. Okay. Crime scene was right here in this room. It wasn't, though. It was in the auction room. Do you have any proof that the crime took place in this room? Von Karma is perfect in every way. Perhaps you forgot that when you gave up your badge. The proof is the bloodstain we found here in the meeting room. That settles it, Miles Edgeworth. You're wrong. Where is it? There we go. That blood pool is because of the blood that was on the hidden lift. If memory serves me correctly, the blood in the meeting room was found in front of the statue of Lady Justice, was it not? To murder someone before Lady Justice. This culprit knows no fear. I wonder about that. Have a look at this piece of evidence. Blood was found in the storeroom right above the meeting room. As you can see, there are signs that it has dripped down onto the floor below. And right under the hidden lift is... the statue of Lady Justice. Then you understand, the murder did not take place here. The killer murdered the victim in the storeroom, and then moved the body to this room. What Lady Justice witnessed was a coward trying to conceal their crime, and not the moment of the murder. Okay. She's smiling? Pardon me, I just remembered a conversation quite similar to this one. As I expected, Miles Edgeworth, such naivete couldn't possibly be an act. Just how is Mr. Edgeworth naive? I knew he was going to get whipped. Have you forgotten? Or are you just playing the foolish fool? The amount of blood in the meeting room is clearly greater than in the storeroom. Please don't just hit me and then ignore me. Such a large amount of blood couldn't have simply dripped from the floor above. And even if it had, there should have been much more blood left behind in the storeroom. The murder could not have occurred anywhere other than this meeting room. You're as predictable as always, Franziska. What? The difference in the amount of blood is just as you say. The question is, why does such a difference exist? That issue is trivial. I've already explained it with my perfect logic. In that case, how do you explain the blood that was found in the storeroom? I don't suppose you're going to tell me that it somehow sprayed all the way up there. Like a water fountain? No way! Exactly. It's impossible. In other words, the reason for the difference in the amount of blood is... the amount of blood in the meeting room and the storeroom are different because... the weapon was pulled out here. Yeah, and the blood... it would only... yeah, they lose more blood when the weapon is removed. Because obviously if the weapon's inside, there's nowhere for the blood to go. Aside from maybe a couple bits of it to just drip down or whatever. The victim died of a stab wound. Naturally, there would be a significant amount of blood loss. That's obvious just from looking at the bloodstain. But that's so weird. She was attacked in the storeroom, but there was less blood found there than... Silence, you third-rate prosecutor. But I'm the best. Do you know when you lose the most blood after getting stabbed with a sharp object? Ah, I know. It's when the sharp object is pulled out, right? Precisely. After being stabbed with the candelabra, the body was moved to the meeting room. And then the murder weapon was pulled out right here in this very room. That would account for the difference in the amount of blood that was left behind. But why would the culprit go through all that trouble? Most likely to give the impression that the murder occurred in the meeting room. It seems Miss Crane's keycard was used last night. But based on the time of use, it must have been a ploy by the culprit to mislead us. In all likelihood, it was the culprit who used the keycard to enter the meeting room. Why would the culprit have needed to do that? Perhaps they feared the storeroom, or that the storeroom would be found out during the investigation. If they were involved in the auction, they would not have wanted it to become public. Meeting room blood. A pool of blood found in the meeting room. Was it left behind to hide the storeroom's existence? Oh, probably. The auction, you say? Perhaps you should go upstairs and see for yourself what items are on display. I'm sure that will allow you to understand what occurred here. Impressive, Miles Edgeworth. You're willing to go that far to protect her. There's something big lurking behind the scenes of this case. Kay simply got caught up in it. You're exaggerating. Am I now? More than anyone, I would think you'd understand the significance behind all this. Why would you, a prosecutor working with Interpol, be involved in a domestic case? Wasn't your objective to crush a certain international smuggling ring? If your search for smuggled goods has led you here, then isn't this feeling I have related to the case? I'm relieved you haven't lost your touch, even though you've turned in your badge. I've heard about your situation, from Scruffy over there. Sorry sir. I just wanted to help out somehow. A wise decision, Detective. Francisco, are you the one in charge of this case? Isn't Interpol pursuing the black market auction? And what if I am? That's not something you need to know. So, you knew about all this from the very beginning. You knew the black market auction was being held right here. Oh. Hey, mind if I butt in? About that gal who turned up dead. You! Hey, I ain't done talking yet. You ain't changed a lick. This case doesn't need even a fragment of your faulty testimony. What are you saying? I'm a bona fide journalist. Back then, you gave false testimony. Miss Von Karma seems to really dislike Lotta. Yeah, I can't say she's fond of her. Ain't that Crane gal one of them PIC members? She's a spitting image of the conductor. I reckon she's... She hit me. She hit me again. What is the meaning of this? Answer me, Miles Edgeworth. From Miss Hart's testimony, we obtained a description of what the conductor was wearing. And it matches what the victim, Jill Crane, was wearing. You mean to say, the one who was murdered was the conductor? Miss Von Karma, maybe you should calm... It would seem that a new fact has just been brought to light. Indeed, I came here in pursuit of the black market auction. In order to arrest the organizer of the event, in other words, the conductor. If we believe Miss Hart's testimony, then the conductor is already dead. Wouldn't this mean that your investigation has ended in vain? That's right, however... I swear on my name that I will not return empty-handed. I challenge you, Miles Edgeworth. A challenge is fine, but... Why is she readying her whip like she's out for a victim of her own? 'Cause she is. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. I will concede your argument. The murder occurred in the storeroom, correct? That would mean the culprit is someone who participated in the auction. If that photographer is correct, the victim was the conductor, and the culprit was a customer. The culprit waited for the victim in the storeroom, where the goods were delivered. Then they stabbed the victim in the chest with the candelabra, and in the storeroom. Indeed. That is all. I trust you have no objections? Unfortunately, that is not the case, because there is a hole in your testimony. As I expected of Mr. Edgeworth, I didn't notice anything at all. Well then, please settle this one with one blow. Yes, of course. Watch as I crush her logic. Do I actually only get one try, or what? Yeah, I guess. I probably don't. I will concede your argument the murder occurred in the storeroom. Yeah. You were surprisingly quick to concede. I simply cannot deny facts that are backed by evidence. That is all. You have proven that the murder occurred in the storeroom. The culprit participated in the auction. I'd like to hear your basis for this claim. When I spoke with the staff of this building, not a single one mentioned the storeroom. The storeroom's existence must have only been known to a select few. And that's where the items for the auction were being stored. I see you understand. Yes, the culprit participated in the auction. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Boom 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 boom. So you're saying that the victim was the auction's conductor? Right. And the culprit? A customer. Hey, ain't you the one that told her that just a moment ago? Yes, that's right. However, I was simply making sure her logic is clear. That ain't right. You're doing it wrong. This is the part where you're supposed to say, I done goofed. The culprit was a customer participating in the black market auction. What in tarnation? Now you've done it, don't cover for him. Of course. That is only if this photographer's testimony is indeed true. I can't tell whether they're on good or bad terms. The issue here is the culprit's actions. Wait for the victim in the storeroom, where the goods were delivered. Miss Hart was in the storeroom at the time. Oh, pardon me. Could the culprit really have been waiting there? Objection! I don't know where she was hiding, but since you've seen it, you must know as well. There are numerous hiding places in that storeroom. So the culprit was hiding while they waited for the victim to arrive. I believe the crime occurred after the auction ended. After all, the victim was the organizer of the auction, the conductor. During the auction, the organizer would have to be in front of the customers the entire time. After the auction ended... Please add that statement to your testimony. Did it end? Or did it occur after? The auction continued even after her murder. Woo! I gotcha! Oh, pardon me. As I thought, you are one step behind. What did you say? The victim was not the conductor, and I have proof. Miss Hart's testimony. That photographer's testimony is not trustworthy. What are y'all saying? I'm a bona fide journal. Cease your idle chatter. Oof. Francesca, calm down and listen. Miss Hart witnessed a part of the murder. The main point here is that after witnessing the murder, she says the auction continued. That's right, sure as can be. They all just kept going on shamelessly. Do you think the auction could have continued without someone conducting it? If the victim was not the conductor, the person killed must have been a customer. Ah, okay. As I said from the beginning, Kay is not the culprit. After all, she herself was attacked by someone and lost consciousness. In which case, that would also make her a victim. If the auction continued after the incident occurred... Yes, and the victim was not the conductor, but a customer. Oh, okay. That's enough. Oh, it's Courtney. That voice. You don't even need the voice, it's the hammer. That hammer. It could only be. Order in the court. The chairman will now enter. God, I hate her so much. Oh. My, no need to be so stiff. Actually, feel free to call me Blaze. Blazy. I don't know if his name's Blaze or Blaze. Well then, Blaze, what brings you here? Huh? Well, I just wanted to see if my idiot son was working hard is all. Is this kind of father-son relationship really healthy? He really likes to play with fire. I had come to light a fire under you, but